Institution of Engineers, Punjab and Chandigarh State Centres, in collaboration with BM Khalsa College, Garshankar, has organized a webinar to celebrate International Women's Day on role of education in women's empowerment. I feel immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Madanjeet Kaur, Child Justice Board, Chandigarh. Our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, Head of the Department Electronic and Communication Engineering, Punjabi University, Patiala. It's matter of great pride to welcome Engineer Satvir Kaur, Vice President, Roop Rai Dental Corporation, Sacramento, California, who agreed to preside over the webinar. I also welcome key speaker of the day, Dr. Jagpreet Kaur, Assistant Professor, Department of Education and Community Services, Punjabi University, Patiala. Dr. Jagpreet Kaur has a long list of her achievements: 8 PhD, 10 MPhil and 30 MA/MH students completed their research work under her guidance. She has completed 3 minor and 2 major projects. She has to her credit 2 books, 12 chapters and 60 research papers published in various national and international journals. She has received many awards and lifetime membership of various professional associations. I request Dr. Jagpreet Kaur, please proceed with the lecture. Dr. Jagpreet Kaur.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words of introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for confirming. So, the worthy members of the Institution of Engineers, Punjab and Chandigarh State Chapter, Principal, Management and Faculty of BM Khalsa College, Garshankar, Hoshiarpur. Then Chief Guest, Dr. Madanjeet Kaur Sahota, Member Juvenile Justice Board, Chandigarh. Guest of Honor, Dr. Ranjit Kaur ji, Dean International Students, Punjabi University, Patiala. Engineer Satvir Kaur ji, presiding over the function. Very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Institution of Engineers, Punjab and Chandigarh chapter, management, principal, faculty, and especially Women's Cell, BAM Khalsa College, Garshankar, for organizing this webinar on a very pertinent theme, that is role of education in women empowerment on the occasion of Women's Day. And I would like to thank the management, staff, and Women's Cell, BAM Khalsa College, Garshankar, for giving me this pleasant opportunity to be part of this gathering, to be part of this online webinar. Normally, Women's Day is being celebrated all across the world on March 8 since the year 1977. But I consider every day is a Women's Day. 8th March is just an official announcement. So with your permission, let me share my PowerPoint presentation. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay. So the topic of today's deliberation, this is regarding role of education in women empowerment. And as we all know, education is an important tool for empowering any nation or any society for that sake. And for the year 2021, the theme of Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. The theme for this year is Choose to Challenge. That is, a challenge world is an alert world. And from challenge comes the change. So let's all choose to challenge. This year's theme is to highlight the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic due to this tough timing of COVID. Now, again, it's March 21. So, past 1 year, it has been an year full of challenges which have been brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. And in 2021, the theme of International Women Day is Choose to Challenge. That is, we should choose to take up challenges, and from those challenges, change will come, and that change will help in developing and empowering our societies and nations. Now, as we all know, we all come across so many quotations that status of women indicates the character of a country, as said by Jawaharlal Nehru. And the indicators of status of women in any of the country, it is the life expectancy, literacy, secondary school enrollment ratio, and labor force participation. So it is normally said, if we want to see the development of any of the nations, then there are two important indicators. The first is the health services or the quality of life in that particular country. Second is the status of women. So status of women, it is an important indicator of the development index of any of the countries, and status of women, it indicates the character of a country. So what do we do by empowering women? Why is it important to empower women? Women empowerment, it includes the action of raising the status of women through education, raising the awareness, making them literate, and training them. So this is a multifold concept when it comes to women empowerment. And women's empowerment is all about equipping and allowing women to make life determining decisions through the different problems in society. So when the women in any of the society, when the women, they can participate in the decision making process, maybe at the level of a household or at state level or national level or international level, that is what women empowerment is all about. So we need to equip and allow women to make these decisions and find solutions to different problems in the society. If we come across various Millennium Development Goals which have been set up by United Nations, they are giving due importance to gender equality. For achieving these Millennium Development Goals, the target year was 2015. The first goal was to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. And the focus was upon equal access for women to basic transport and energy infrastructure, which can lead to greater economic activity. And moreover, investment in women's health and nutritional status so as to reduce chronic hunger and malnourishment, which increases productivity and well-being. So this was the first goal as per the Millennium Development Goals. Second was to achieve universal primary education. As we all know, educated girls and women, they have greater control over their fertility and they participate more in public life. As it is normally said, if you educate a male, educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a female or a woman, you educate the whole family. So educated girls and women, they have greater control over their fertility and they can participate well in public life. And a mother's education, the researchers show that mother's education is a strong and consistent determinant of her children's school enrollment and attainment and their health and nutrition outcomes. So an educated mother makes it sure that the children, they are enrolled in school and they are achieving well in the school and they are keeping good health and nutritional outcomes. So this was the second goal, that is achieving universal primary education. Third was to promote gender equality and empower women. This is very, very important. Gender equality, it is the watchword. This central goal was dedicated to gender equality and women's empowerment, depending upon the achievement of all other goals for its success. So all the MDGs, they are to be achieved. The target year was 2015, and with pertinent focus upon promoting gender equality across all the spheres of life. Then goal 4 was to reduce child mortality. A mother's education, income and empowerment have a significant impact on lowering child mortality. So how the child mortality can be reduced? By educating the women, improving maternal health. A mother's education, income and empowerment have a significant impact on lowering maternal mortality. Again, women education, this is the important key. Goal 6 was combating HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, greater economic independence for women, increased ability to negotiate safe sex, and more awareness of challenges around traditional norms in sexual relations are essential for preventing the spread of HIV/AIDS and other epidemics. It's an important contributor to this goal 6 as well. Seventh goal was to ensure environmental sustainability, gender equitable property and resource ownership policies enable women, often as primary users of these resources, to manage them in a more sustainable manner. So ensuring environmental sustainability, this is possible when we have gender equity, we have gender equitable property and resource in ownership policies that may enable women to manage these resources in a more sustainable manner. So these are the seven. Then eighth goal is to develop a global partnership for development. Again, greater gender equality in the political sphere may lead to higher investment in development cooperation. These MDGs with respect to gender equality, they have been adapted from Brown et al. 2005. And all these 8 MDGs, they have not society, any of the nations so of that we agents of change and we can bring about it does you have to and you should as well part of the women contribution or the decision maybe or at the family level or at the level of any of the community or to their male counterpart. To empower the women, them we need to enable them choices as well to organize change and economic as internationally to organize agent of social in a positive. Their if their participation inside the home rights. So if we write, they are into employment, purchasing power, they have mobility inside the home as well. Security is always an issue where a woman steps out of the home. So property inheritance and land rights, it's been a right. Girl child, they have equal right in the property of the we have certain societal issues, property inheritance and land rights, and are a major obstacle in economic development of women in India. Then coming to empowerment, that would best support private spheres. So, safety as well as, and this is again an important. So there is empowerment as well as about. Then if we so we should focus upon creating equal opportunities, and by increasing the enrollment of the girl child into school, there needs to be collective effort from the government as well as the society for universalization of education and for taking control of these gender inequalities that exist in our society. So this will itself reduce the poverty in our society. In the long run, an educated woman will actively play a better role in directing her children through life's journey. So as we have discussed earlier as well, as an educated woman, she can take care of her family in a better way. She can she is a she's an indicator. An educated mother is an indicator of good health of our children, overall well-being of our children, school enrollment of our children, achievement of our children. So we can say an educated woman is the pivot of any of the developing society. So we need to focus upon educating the women so that she can play a better role in directing the children through life's journey. So what can be done? Now the point is, we have been discussing there are these gender empowerment gaps are there, and gender gap index is there. What is to be done? What is to be done at your level, at mine level, me being a teacher, me being a parent? What is to be done? What are the efforts which need to be made by one and all, so that we have a gender just and gender equal Indian society? So for that, first is we need to promote the fulfillment of women's potential through education, skill development and employment, giving paramount importance to the elimination of poverty, illiteracy and ill health among women. So first and foremost focus should be upon developing women's potential or empowering women through education, skill development, giving them equal chances of employment, equal educational opportunity, equal chances of skill development, and giving importance to elimination of poverty, illiteracy, and ill health, especially among women. So, poverty needs to be eradicated, illiteracy needs to be removed, and the gender gap in the literacy status that needs to be eliminated as well. And we need to focus upon making women health better, giving by providing them better health facilities all across. Then establishing mechanism for women's equal participation and equitable representation at all levels of the political process. So women empowerment indicates economic empowerment as well as political empowerment. So we need to establish mechanisms for women's equal participation and equitable representation at all levels of the political process. In Indian context, the representation as well as participation in the political process by women is generally for the namesake. Even if we look at the panchayat election or the elections of any municipal corporation or at any of the levels for that particular sake, it is the women is being represented just for the namesake, and the whole authority is lying with her husband or maybe any of the male elders of the family, maybe the father or the husband or the brother. So for namesake participation and representation, that will not result into women empowerment. So women's equal participation and equal representation at all levels of the political process and public life in each community and society is much needed. And we need to enable women to articulate their concerns and needs. Women need to raise their voice. It's not just shouting, or it's not just raising voice. It's voicing their concerns. It's speaking out for themselves. It's speaking out for their fellow beings. It is speaking out for their sisters. It's speaking out for their daughters. So for need to enable women to articulate their concerns and needs, they need to voice their opinion. Then eliminating all practices that discriminate against women, assisting women to establish and realize their rights, including those that relate to reproductive and sexual health. So, any kind of discrimination or any kind of ill practices which prevail, female feticide, infanticide, so such practices that discriminate against women, they need to be abolished. And we need to assist women to establish and realize their rights, including those related to reproductive and sexual health. Then adopting appropriate measures to improve women's ability to earn income beyond traditional occupations, achieve economic self-reliance, and ensure women's equal access to the labor market and social security system. So women's participation in work, women's participation in labor market, this is another important indicator of women empowerment or development of any of the nations. Then eliminating violence against women. As we all know, during the past COVID year, COVID-19 pandemic period, there has been significant increase in domestic violence against women. So eliminating violence that has to be checked against women, and eliminating discriminatory practices by employers against women, such as those based on proof of contraceptive use or pregnancy status. So these such discriminatory practices, they need to be eliminated. They need to be kept under check, and making it possible through laws, regulations, and other appropriate measures for women to combine the roles of childbearing, breastfeeding, and child rearing with participation in workforce. So this will include the breastfeeding room at the workplace, crèche at the workplace, and maternity leave, so that childbearing, breastfeeding, and child rearing practices with participation in the workforce, and there is enabling environment at the workplace for the women. Then at the end, we may conclude that empowerment means moving from a weak position to execute a power. So women are already powerful. Just like that, they need to be made aware about their power. So empowering women means moving from a weak position. Normally, women is considered as the weaker sex, but the women is not weaker sex. It is the men who sees her as the weaker sex. She is as powerful as a man. And the thing is, we need to make her aware about her power, her participation in the social life around her. So the education of women, it is the most powerful tool to change the position of the society. Education also brings a reduction in inequalities and functions as a means of empowering, improving their status within the family, across the society, across the nation as well. So to encourage the education of women at all levels and for dilution of gender bias in providing knowledge and education, we need to establish schools, colleges and universities even exclusively for women in the state or all across the nation. And education develops the idea of participation in government panchayats, public matters, etc., for elimination of gender discrimination. It is a well known fact, it is a well researched fact that where there is participation in government panchayats, public matters, there is participation of women, there are less chances of gender discrimination, there is more gender equality, there is elimination of gender discrimination in those societies. So, at the end, I can conclude that change is not just about big headline moments in the newspapers or in the media. It's not in the legal victories and international agreements, but the way we talk, think, and act every day, that is actually going to create a ripple effect that benefits everyone, and thereby we will be able to create a gender equal and gender just society for our daughters, for all the women. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, for your enlightening lecture on women empowerment and gender equality. It's right, without women empowerment, no nation can develop. Women are no less to men in any aspect. Thank you very much once again. Now I would like to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Kaur. Dr. Ranjit Kaur is presently head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Punjabi University, Patiala. She is also serving as Dean Directorate of International Students and Professionals in the department. She has 23 years of teaching experience. She has active interaction with outside world and has visited different countries. She is member of various academic societies. Now I request Dr. Ranjit Kaur to say few words.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, first of all, respected chief guest of the day, Dr. Madanjit Kaur Sahota.
Thank you.
That is the chairman of IEI, Professor Tara Singh Kamal, former vice president of IEI, and he is also my mentor. Professor Baljeet Singh, principal of BM Khalsa College, Garshankar. Engineer Satveer Kaur, Dr. Jagpreet Kaur, Professor Lakhvinderjeet Kaur, convener of Women's Cell, and all the members of Institute of Engineering and the faculty of VM Khalsa College, and all the participants who are participating in this webinar. So very good afternoon to all of you, and I wish all of you a happy Women's Day, and I am thankful to the management of IEI and the BM Khalsa College for giving me this opportunity on this webinar that is on the topic of role of education in women empowerment. So I will talk about, because my background is from the technical, so I will talk about the role of women in the technical education, how technical education can help the women in women empowerment. So first of all, feminism is not about making women strong. Women are already strong. It is about changing the way the world perceives that strength. So International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievement of women, marked annually on 8th International Women's Day. Already Dr. Jagpreet has told that every day is a Women's Day. So on this day, we basically celebrate the women's achievement, raise awareness about women's equality, lobby for accelerated gender parity. So now in this era of globalization and rapid technology development, has changed people's lives dramatically. We know science and technology play an extremely important role in the modern day society. Government in the developing countries recognize the importance of development of science and technology sphere. The role of men and women have changed in the modern day society. Women have got more freedom to express themselves and take active part in the development of technology. Despite the fact that there are still problems in the sphere, as Dr. Jagpreet already explained, the number of problems in the working atmosphere of the women. Despite the growing tempo of technology development and popularity of feminism, women do not still possess equal position in the society. Although women and girls make approximately 50% of the global population, we all know they have access to much less than half of the resources in terms of technology, finance, land, training, and education and information. The gender equality is one of the components of our healthy society, and true development is impossible without it. Only understanding of contribution women can make to the development of science and technology can bring positive impact on the development of this sphere. Although the role of women is now changing, women in science from being a minority are now occupying the most important position in realms one thought were unachievable before. From winning Nobel Prizes to heading NASA, women scientists have etched their names in the history. In India, science and technology remains a male-dominated field like much of the world. However, women like Ritu Kharidhal, Chandrima Saha, and others have taken on leading roles in the organization like ISRO, Indian National Science Academy. New projects are taken away from by the women's. Tessie Thomas, as you know, all you know, that is known as a Missile Woman of India, and is the Director General of Aeronautical System and the former project director of Agni 4 Missile in Defense Research and Development Organization. She is the first woman scientist to head missile project in India. Ritu Kharidhal as mission director of the Chandrayaan 2 mission. So in the interesting study that was performed by the Center for Children and Technology Specialists, tried to find the difference between male and female approaches for technology advancements. The participants of the experiment, both men and women, were asked to describe the perfect machine of the future. The results showed that the machines proposed by the men were designed in order to get other owners to expand the control and to become more powerful. The machines designed by the women had an intention to help people and to make their life easier. So that is where the difference between the thinking of the men and women vary. These differences in approaches to technological innovation show basic difference between male and female approaches in life. Men want to expand their influence, and women are ready to adapt to technology and make their use easier and more comfortable for people. And that is the reason men are more likely to invent new things and women are more likely to improve things which already exist. This division does not make men superior to women or vice versa. It means that men and women possess different types of knowledge and skill, and the best result that we can achieve only with their mutual contribution, not only by men or not only by women. The problem with gender inequality and the lack of professional opportunity for women in science and technology sphere are especially evident in the developing countries. All over the world, women tend to get in education and employment, particularly in science and technology. India is no exception. In India, only women drop out after acquiring a PhD in science. The number of female students enrolled in science courses is much higher than the number of women actually employed in the research. The loss of talent midway is not realized by the society or by the relevant authorities. So we should work on this fact that how we can boost that talent that is lost in midway after completing the education. So to boost that talent, female leadership can provide the role models for the young girls wanting to take up scientific careers, salary-linked child care allowance, broadening the concept of maternity leave to special leave, and establishment of women's universities, especially in states where less than 30% of women students are in science streams. So we need to develop avenue to promote entrepreneurship and self-employment for women scientists. Science, technology, innovations, and discoveries in all nations can be strengthened through great participation of women. More schemes for the women scientists should be bring out by the government. Utilization of talent of women should not be viewed only from the perspective of gender equality. It must be understood that the full involvement of women in scientific and technology effort is today essential for the rapid economic development and the sustainable happiness. Good management practice, simple flexible rules and regulation, more support for higher education of women in science, greater opportunity for entrepreneurship development, and many more positions in the government need to be created. This is the time that we all should realize that it is time to eliminate the remaining obstacles that keep them from becoming fully involved in their work, including leadership of science and technology, innovations, and global capacity building. So it is time for the world to realize that and accept the fact that women's contributions and efforts cannot be ignored any longer. In the end, I am thankful to all of you, and only one message for all the women, that you should never let your fears prevent you from doing what you know is right. So this is my message for all the women of the world. So again, I'm thankful to the management of IEAI and VM Khalsa College Garhshankar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable views on women's strength. Now I would like to introduce our guest from USA, Engineer Satvir Kaur. Presently serving as Vice President, True Pride Corporation, she completed her Bachelor of Technology from Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Masters in Computer Engineering from UMass Lowell. She worked as an engineer for 15 years in USA. She is also involved in charity work. Now I request Engineer Satvir Kaur to please share her views with us.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. First of all, on this occasion of International Women's Day, greetings and best wishes to everyone present. And thank you so much to Institution of Engineers for this opportunity to share my views and to talk about opinions about this topic. And I'm really honored to share this stage with Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Sahota, Guest of Honor Dr. Ranjit Kaur, and key speaker Dr. Jackpreet Kaur.
Yes.
What I want to say is more power to us. Women in our country are setting new records and achievements in various fields. We post women empowerment quotes on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we feel like we did something for women. We made a change. More power to us. And we post amazing quotes and pictures of women when they break the glass ceiling. We say it's about time. We say more power to us. We take our pride in our daughters, sisters, mothers' achievements. More power to us. But is it only the achievement that's the measure of empowerment? You know what? Living in India with my parents, I and my two sisters, we never felt like second citizens or pradhan. After I got married, I never felt like I didn't belong in this new house. After marriage, I never felt like Pahu. It has always been my house. So when I was designing boards or working or creating new solutions or designing a new database, I felt empowered. When I resigned to take care of my family, I felt empowered. And I don't have these huge accomplishments. I don't have any accolades or this amazing career or even 2 million followers. Why do I feel empowered? Sometimes I do think about it when I sit and reflect on my career. Well, I stumbled upon Keshav Chandra Mandal's article on thriveglobal.com, which was published about, I think, last year. And it identified female empowerment in 5 separate categories. One was social, educational, economical, political, and psychological. And to me, it seemed like it was these categories are dependent on each other, and I saw it like a pyramid. So the base of this was obviously social empowerment, which is very obvious when you think about a status of a woman in a society. We cannot talk about racial, ethnic, or religious equality unless we bring gender equality in the equation. We need to recognize a female's purpose, creation, their existence. Like women in all walks of life need to have access to better life, good health, education, and safety. Women's value should not be measured by dowry she brings, the amount of work she does at home, or if she bears boys. Once we have an even field for all human beings to play, I think we can work towards an empowered society. So now the base is set, if I say so, that the social empowerment, say for example, is an even field for everyone. The second base is second category should be education. And education, I feel like, is the most important part. As everyone knows, we all know that education is so important. Growing up, when I was growing up in our family, it went without saying that I will be getting my master's degree. My parents did set that example up for me. We were never, threatened that, if you didn't get good grades, we will marry you off. No, we didn't have that. We had one goal. We had to get education. All three of us have master's degree. And my dad still thinks I could have gone for a PhD. He still thinks that. But actually, he never forced it. It has always been my choice. And from Dr. Jagpreet, your speech, when you were talking about the choices, that's exactly like in every field we had a choice. So it came as a huge shock to me that in this date and age, so many girls are denied education in so many parts of the world. And that's not in India only. And the gap of literacy is almost like 13% between men and women worldwide, which may not seem a lot, which did decrease. The gap has closed since 2010 from 27% to 13%, which according to UN, it has been closing steadily. So it is heartwarming to see that educational gap is closing. Now, another thing that I sometimes think about is why is education empowering? Now, education and empowering obviously brings confidence, boosts self-esteem, provides a stage for financial independence, economic empowerment. They say money can't buy happiness, but it definitely can get access to all the resources that your children need, your family needs, your community needs. So women make, for example, say like 50% of the total population. If they are left uneducated, a large part of nation will not be contributing towards its growth and will leave the development of a nation stunted. So as I think Dr. Ranjit Kaur was talking about, like in schools and colleges, girls are outnumbering boys in the classes, which is really good to see. They may not complete their education, they may not go, but it just means that in positive thinking, that a step is being taken to get to the next step. Each small step is important. So let's get the girls in the school. Let's make sure that they finish their education. Let's make sure that they get jobs after that. Let's make sure they don't get a degree to put it on their hang on a wall, but they use that degree somewhere. However, how many times have we stopped and appreciated the inventions by women? We know our girls are completing education. How many times we have appreciated that women, the most important, like Viper, a car wiper, that was invented by a woman. How many of us know that? Not very many. Only 10% of US patent holders are women, despite women being accounted for half of the doctoral studies in science and technology. The percentage of PhDs in STEM fields in USA earned by women is about 42%. Then how come we have only 10% patents held by women? So in that regard, I'd like to say, as important as education is, leadership plays a huge role, right? I mean, we cannot mute non-participants in these decision-making processes. We cannot sit quiet. Women need to show up and show out. I want to encourage women to have a voice in decision making, in policies, in programs by getting involved in politics, implementing the decentralization, just implying the decentralization of power and authority. We need to get in there. That is part of education too. Leadership is part of education too. We can't ignore that part. We have to raise women leaders in STEM, politics, political arena, where they're not scared to say their piece, where they can stand up and say, you know what, I'm not a spectator and I won't be a picture of sacrifice. I will make sure that I am supported through my education phase and thereafter. Our male counterparts need to participate in life as women do in all aspects of life. Your children, boys, need to do the dishes too while your daughter is studying. You need to make sure. My dad, growing up, my dad never had qualms about making roti for us when my mom was at work. He, in fact, taught us how to do all these things in our life. And so we always thought men and women are equal. In our family, men and women are equal. My husband helps me every day. My boys, I have 3 boys, and they all help me in kitchen. They all help me in laundry. So we need to make sure that we bring all cards on the table. And then the last step on the pyramid kind of circle back to the social empowerment, where psychological empowerment, where we let go of that patriarchal taboos and social obligations, and let us go beyond what's expected of us in the society. The revolutions around the world succeed when women take charge. So, and towards the end, I want to say that when talking about education and female empowerment, I cannot close without talking about this stellar performance in the field of science and technology. Women have been playing a great role in STEM these days, but with barely any glory and spotlight. So it warms my heart to hear about scientists, engineers like Kavita Kaur, Apek Pasau, Vandana, N. Valarmathi, Rashmi Sharma, Shilpi Soni, Harshita Tolani, Dr. Swati, who have been involved with NASA and ISRO projects, and they're related to Mars. So it really is it gives me goosebumps to just think about their accomplishments. On the political front, we have always had strong Indian female leaders, and our Prime Minister, our President. But in USA, the election of VP Kamala Harris has been a major milestone. Leaders like Angela Merkel of Germany, Ellen Sirleaf of Liberia, Prime Minister Thorning-Schmidt of Denmark, Prime Minister Jacinda of New Zealand, they have all demonstrated that they can lead the superpowers or bring them on the world map. And even during COVID, I think Dr. Jagpreet was talking about the challenges faced during COVID. During COVID, a lot of our countries had issues, but the countries that were led by female leaders had controlled their COVID situation better than their counterparts, and that's a fact. And towards the end, I'd also like to mention that all these things, we can keep on talking about this. We need to provide education and everything, but as we all know that unless and until we have some kind of incentive for the women, we cannot move forward. And in this regard, I'd like to mention our Institution of Engineers annual award, that is Mrs. Jagdish Kaur Award for Excellence in the Field of Engineering for AMIE female students. And it's awarded by Dr. T.S. Kamal, who is also in this meeting. So we need to encourage more females and reinforce their vision so they not only stand on their 2 feet, but are also armed with education, knowledge, financial freedom to be able to stand up to the system. So when I say more power to us, I mean, let's support each other, let's stand for each other, let's fix each other's crowns and march on to make this world a better place by empowering women, because they are the powers that run the world. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your own experience that women's value cannot be measured. She is already a decision maker. Thank you once again. Now I would like to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Madanjit Kaur Sahota, a great academician, former principal, fellow and syndicate member, Punjab University, Chandigarh, former member, Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum, presently member of Juvenile Justice Board, Chandigarh, a great social worker. I request Dr. Madanjit Kaur to conclude the webinar.
थैंक यू मैडम शुक्रिया मेरी आवाज ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਮ
थैंक यू ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਟੀਮ ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੈਂਟਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਬਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਬਲਕਿ ਐਨਲਾਈਟਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਵੇਅਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਸ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਵਿਮਨ ਡੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਸੈਰੇਮਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਲਕਿ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛਾ ਸਟੈਪ ਹੈਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਨਰ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਉਸ ਪਾਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਨੂੰ ਮਨਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਦੋਜਹਿਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੈਕਰੀਫਾਈਸਸ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡਾ ਸੈਲੂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮਾਨਯੋਗ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਮੁਕਾਮ ਤੱਕ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਯੂਐਨਓ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਵਿਮਨ ਡੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਥੀਮ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਵਿਮਨ ਇਨ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਥੀਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਵਾਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੰਡ ਜੰਮੀਏ ਪੰਡ ਨਿੰਮੀਏ ਪੰਡ ਮੰਗਣ ਵਿਆਹੋ ਪੰਡੋ ਹੋਵੇ ਦੋਸਤੀ ਪੰਡੋ ਚੱਲੇ ਰਾਹੋ ਪੰਡ ਮੁਆ ਪੰਡ ਭਾਲੀਏ ਪੰਡ ਹੋਏ ਬੰਧਾਨ ਸੋ ਕਿਉ ਮੰਦਾ ਆਖੀਏ ਜਿਤ ਜੰਮੇ ਰਾਜਾਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੱਢ ਕਸੀਦਾ ਪਹਿਰਿਓ ਚੋਲੀ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਮ ਜਾਣੋ ਨਾਰੀ ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮੰਚ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਛ ਵਿਊਜ਼ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਭਾਸ਼ਣ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਤ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈਣਾ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਤ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਲਿਸਨਰ ਨੇ ਵਿਊਅਰਸ ਨੇ ਆਈ ਹੋਪ ਮੈਡਮ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਏਬਲ ਟੂ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਆਲਸੋ ਐਮ ਆਈ ਰਾਈਟ
They will understand.
Do you listen to me? Thank you. ਦੇਖੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਭਾਰਤ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕਨਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਫਾਰਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਰਟੀਕਲ 15(3) 39 E and F 45 and 47 ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਨਕਲੂਡ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਵਿਮਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਰਿਆਇਤਾਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਵਧਾਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਮਨ ਐਮਪਾਵਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਔਰ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਵਿਮਨ ਔਰਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਮਾਜ ਦਾ ਧੁਰਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਡੈਨੀਅਲ ਮੈਰੀ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਵਿਮਨ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਫੁੱਲ ਸਰਕਲ within her is the power to create nurture and you transform women ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਤਾਕਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਨਨੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਨਰਚਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਲਦੀ ਪੋਸ਼ਦੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਟਰਾਂਸਫਾਰਮ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮਾਦਾ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਨੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੈਲਫ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨੇਟਰੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਵਿਮਨ ਐਮਪਾਵਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਬੁਲਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ, ਆਈ ਨੀਡ ਨਾਟ ਟੂ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਇਟ ਅਗੇਨ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਰਡ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਔਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤਾਕਤ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਐਨਕਰੇਜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਛੀ ਸੇਧ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕਲੀ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਟਰੈਂਥਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਲੀ ਮੋਰ ਸਟੇਬਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਈਕੋਲੋਜੀਕਲੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੋਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਿਵ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੀ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ, ਵਿਦਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਅਜਿਹਾ ਚਾਨਣ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਰੋਸ਼ਨਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਂ ਦਾ, ਔਰਤ ਦਾ, ਭੈਣ ਦਾ, ਧੀ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਰੋਲ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਖੂਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਰਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ UN ਦੀ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਥੀਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਿਮਨ ਇਨ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਏਗੀ? ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਵਿਮਨ ਲੀਡਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅੱਛੀਆਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਮੁਨੱਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਸ਼ਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਚਾਹੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਧਰਮ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ, ਚਾਹੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਓ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪੜ੍ਹੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਗੁੜੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਉਹ ਤਾਕਤ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਕਰਿਸ਼ਮਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਜਜ਼ਬਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸੇਧ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁੱਤਰਾਂ ਧੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸੇਧ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਡਿਟਰਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਮਿਸਾਲ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਗੁਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਭਾਰਤ ਹੋਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਨਸਟੀਟਿਊਟ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਨ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਮਿਸ ਹੰਸਾ ਮਹਿਤਾ, ਉਹ ਕਾਬਲੇ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਫਲੈਗ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਂਡ ਓਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਗਸਟ ਹਾਊਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਫਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਕਹੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਗਿਫਟ ਹੈਗਾ। ਉਹ ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਰਿਮਾਰਕੇਬਲ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਸੈਲਫ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਮਨ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਰਟੀਕਲ ਅਮੈਂਡਮੈਂਟ 73 ਐਂਡ 74 ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੋਈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਟੈਟਿਸਟੀਕਲ ਡਾਟਾ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਰੀਬ 2 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪੰਚਾਇਤ ਐਂਡ ਲੋਕਲ ਸੈਲਫ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਾਖੂਬੀ ਰੋਲ ਨਿਭਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਰੀਸੈਂਟ ਪਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਹਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ 2020 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਹਿਬਿਸ਼ਨ, ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਸ਼ਾਬੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਜੋ ਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾਰਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੱਧ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੋਟ ਕਾਸਟ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਲੀਡਰ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਖੂਬ ਪਹਿਚਾਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਤਕੜਾ ਵੋਟ ਬੈਂਕ ਹੈਗੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਹਿਬਿਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ? ਮੇਰਾ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਸੀ, ਨਸ਼ਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਮਾਰ ਤਾੜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਵੋਟ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਇਕਨੋਮੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦਾ ਫੂਡ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਔਰ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਦੀ ਹਾਮੀ ਭਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਕ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਛਾ ਪਾਲਣ ਪੋਸ਼ਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ, ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੇ ਨਾਗਰਿਕ, ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਦੇ ਆਰ ਮੋਰ ਸੈਂਸਿਟਿਵ, ਦੇ ਆਰ ਮੋਰ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ, ਦੇ ਆਰ ਮੋਰ ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਲ ਟੂਵਰਡਸ देयर ਫੈਮਿਲੀ। ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਅੰਦੋਲਨ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਰਲਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਖਿੱਚ ਦਾ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਪਾਸੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ, ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਐਨਫੋਰਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਜੋ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਹਾਦ ਖੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਡਰਲਾਈਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ, ਵੱਡੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਏਜ ਗਰੁੱਪ, ਹਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੜਕੀ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚੀ ਹੈ, ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥਣ ਹੈ, ਮਾਤਾ ਹੈ, ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਧ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਮਾਣ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅੰਦੋਲਨ ਦੀ ਵੈਨਿਊ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਮੰਚ ਦਾ ਸੰਚਾਲਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੰਦੋਲਨ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਲੀਡਰ ਲੀਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਭਲੀ ਭਾਂਤ ਸਮਝ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਭਾਗੀਦਾਰੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਡਿਟਰਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਫॉर ਦਾ ਕਾਜ਼, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਬੜਾਵਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਫੀਦਰ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਕੈਪ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਵੂਮਨ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਗਰ ਵੂਮਨ ਇਨ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਦਾ ਥੀਮ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ? ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਭਾਰਤ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 74 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੂਮਨ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਲੈਸ ਦੈਨ 20% ਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ। 2019 ਤੱਕ ਤਾਂ 14% ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਸਾਡਾ ਵੋਟ ਬੈਂਕ ਵਧੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 3% ਦੀ ਹੋਰ ਐਨਹਾਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤੀ। ਸੋ ਸਟਿਲ it is less than 20% in Indian parliament, and that situation is more pathetic in state assemblies. So ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੰਨਾ ਘੱਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਚਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕ ਸਕਦੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਆਨਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਰਿਐਲਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਕਿਫ ਹੋਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੌਕਰੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਟਿਵਲੀ ਮੈਨ ਦੇ ਵਿਮਨ ਆਰ ਦਾ ਲੂਜ਼ਰਸ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੈਕਸ਼ੂਅਲ ਅਫੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਦਭਾਗੀਆਂ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੁਰਖੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮੰਚ ਤੋਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਛੇੜਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਾਖੂਬੀ ਵਾਕਿਫ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੈਕਸ਼ੂਅਲ ਅਫੈਂਸਿਸ ਫੈਮਲੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਨੇਬਰਹੁੱਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਮਾਣ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਮਨ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਐਪੈਕਸ ਬਾਡੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ, ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਰੋਲ ਅੱਛਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਜ਼ਿਊਮਰ ਫੋਰਮ 'ਚ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਰਹੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਭ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਜ਼ਿਊਮਰਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਹੈਰਿਸਡ ਲੋਟ ਨੇ ਐਟ ਦਾ ਹੈਂਡਸ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਾਈਡਰਸ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਲਾਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਪਿਸਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਖਰੀਦਦਾਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਵੇ, ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਵੀ ਆਲ ਨੋ they are the managers of the Indian household. ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਾਸ ਪੋਰਟਫੋਲੀਓ ਜੁਵੀਨਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਵੈਲਫੇਅਰ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ who need care and protection ਉਹਦੇ jurisdiction 'ਚ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। those children who are unprotected, who are not cared by their parents, who are left out on the roads. So presently I am working in juvenile justice board, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ 18 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘੱਟ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਉਹ ਕਨਫਲਿਕਟ ਵਿਦ ਲਾਅ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੰਜੀਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਵਿਮਨ ਦਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ, ਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਬਿਗਿਨਸ ਐਟ ਹੋਮ। ਸੋ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਨਮਦਾਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਹੀ ਕਰਮਦਾਤੀ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲਾ ਲੈਸਨ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਹੀਨ ਬਾਗ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ CAA ਦੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਦਾਦੀਆਂ ਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਸੀ, ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਮਦਰਸ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵਿਮਨ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਣਾ ਬਾਣਾ ਸੁਲਝਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਧ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਰੱਖਣ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਐਜੂਕੇਟ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛੀ ਖੁਰਾਕ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਛੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਮਿੰਗ ਟੂਗੈਦਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੀਏ, ਔਰਤ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਾਖੂਬ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਬੜੀ ਤਨਦੇਹੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਹ ਵਿਊ ਦੇਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਗੁਰੇਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਔਰਤ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਰੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਰਕਨਾਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੀ ਪਾਲਣ ਪੋਸ਼ਣ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੈਲਬੀਇੰਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਨਾ ਹੀ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕਲੀ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਹੋਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛਾ ਰੋਲ, ਬੈਟਰ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜਨਨੀ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਮਾਣ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਸ ਰੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਬਾਖੂਬ ਨਿਭਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਪਣੇ ਰੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਲਿਊਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਮਾਲਕ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਕਾਬਲ ਬਣੀ, परमात्मा ने मैनू एक औरत बनाया ताकि मैं एक बहुत अच्छा रोल प्ले कर सका। सो मैं जिथे आप नू सारे ही ऑर्गेनाइजर्स नू, स्पैशली प्रिंसीपल साहब नू, मैडम लखविंदरजीत कौर जेडे मेरे नाल लगातार इन टच रहे ने, और जेडे रिसोर्स पर्सनस खासकर डॉक्टर जगप्रीत कौर जिन्हों ने बहुत अच्छा की नोट एड्रेस अपना दिता अज दे इस दिन दे उपर। गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर डॉक्टर रणजीत कौर ने बहुत बखूबी उन्होंने अपने लफ्ज़ां विच बहुत जिस तरह माला विच मोती परोए ने इस तरह दे नाल उन्होंने अपने लफ्ज़ां नू बयान किया। इस तरह ही इंजीनियर सतवीर कौर ने सानू बहुत अच्छा जोड़िया, इस नू हिंदुस्तान अमरीका नैशनल इंटरनैशनल लैवल ते आके असी इन्हां चीज़ां बारे वाकफ हो सके, उन्हां दे व्यूज़ तो जाणू हो सके, उन्हां दियां लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज़ दियां उन्हां ने किवें अपने आप नू प्रोग्रेस कीता, परिवार ने किस तरह उन्हां दी बैकबोन बनी, और किस तरह वो अगे सोचते ने कि औरतां नू वध तो वध अगे आउणा चाहीदा है। मैं इत्थे एक चीज़ होर तुहाडी इजाजत नाल कहनी चाहांगी कि गुरु महाराज ने गुरुदेव माता गुरुदेव पिता दा वचन जो सानू दिता है वो अपने आप विच सैल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी है। वो ताकत किसी तो लैण दी जरूरत नहीं, वो साडी इनबिल्ट है। साडे उपर उस अकाल पुरख दा हथ है जिन्हां ने गुरुदेव माता गुरुदेव पिता दा सानू संदेश दिता। उन्होंने कहा नारी पुरख पुरख सब नारी सब एको पुरख मुरारे। सानू जो विरासत मिली है, जो सानू एक अपने वेन्स विच ब्लड जिस माता पिता दा फ्लो कर रहा है, उन्होंने सानू संस्कार अच्छे दिते ने, उन्होंने सानू एक अच्छी सेहतमंद जिंदगी जीउण वास्ते सानू उन्होंने सब कुछ बख्शिया है, अकाल पुरख ने बख्शिया है। सो सानू भी अपना रोल उसे तरह ही बाखूबी निभाना चाहिदा है। मैं जिथे सारियां ही औरतां नू, सारे ही महिला वर्ग नू इस दिन ते वधाई दिंदी हां, उत्थे ही मैं चौकस करदी हां, चौकन्ने करदी हां कि अपने रोल तो पिछों ना हटियो। पढ़ लिखण दा भाव यह है कि तुसी अपना रोल बेटर प्ले कर सको, ना कि तुसी बैकअप करो। इकोनॉमिकली स्ट्रॉन्ग होने का मतलब यह है कि तुसी होर रोल अपना जिहड़ा हैगा हेल्दी कर सको, ना कि तुसी अपने परिवारां दे विच अपने साथी नाल कंपीटिशन लड़ो कि यू आर अर्निंग लैस, आई एम अर्निंग मोर, आई एम कंट्रीब्यूटिंग मोर, यू आर सो एंड सो। इहदे नाल जिहड़े साडे परिवारां दीयां तंदां ने उन्हां नूं स्ट्रेंथन करन दे विच रोल प्ले करना चाहिदा हैगा। सो अगर मैं कोई समा वध लै गई होवां तां मैं माफी दी जाचक हां। कोई लफज मेरे कोलों अजिहा वरतिया गया होवे जो किसी दी भी शान दे खिलाफ होवे, उहदे वास्ते माफी दी जाचक हां। आप जी दा फिर एक बार धन्नवाद करदी हां मैनू इस मंच तो संबोधन करने दे वास्ते। सो मैं वाहिगुरू जी दी जो फतेह है वो अर्ज करांगी ते आस करदी हां कि आप भी सारे साथ दियो। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
धन्यवाद जी, धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you, ma'am, for your views that women has a part to nurture and transform the society.
Welcome, madam. Welcome. You are welcome, ma'am.
Time to end now. On behalf of the Institute of Engineers, and BM Khalsa College, Gadshankar, from the core of my heart, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Madanjit Kaur, for her inspirational words. I also thank our guest of honor, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, for sharing her views with us. Engineer Satvir Kaur for joining and sharing her experiences with us. Dr. Jagpreet Kaur for her marvelous lecture. I would also like to thank Dr. Sukhveer Mundi, Dr. T.S. Kamal for joining hands in this webinar, and our worthy principal, Dr. Baljit Singh Khera, who always encourages us to organize webinars. At the end, I would like to thank the entire team of engineers, my colleagues, delegates from other colleges, dear students who joined this webinar and made it successful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत मुबारक
Thank you,
बहुत
ma'am.
बहुत मुबारक बहुत
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
थैंक यू शुक्रिया जी ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ
Thank you.
Satvir ji, nice talking, nice listening to your views. Thank you Madam Lakwinder Kaur.
Really nice meeting. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
Thank you. Sat Shri Akal.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ